Right, so hey everyone and welcome back to another budget photography video. Now, it's really windy and you guys are seeing me on the 5D Mark II with a brand new lens. Why don't we go back to the studio? In this video I want to talk about this, the 24-105 L lens. Yes, we have L glass here now because this channel is doing well. I'm lying, of course. So, the 24-105, is it any good in 2020? Short answer, yes, it is very good. There are some good sides and there are some downsides, some quite bad downsides to this lens. But it kind of, the good outweighs the bad. So why don't we get to the good sides of it first? And then we'll go to the bad side. So, as I said, this is a 24-105mm and it has an aperture of f4 with 10 aperture blades. Nice and rounded, so the bokeh should be quite nice. And to be fair, at 100mm, the compression and the bokeh itself is actually really nice. It's also using Canon's USM focusing motor, which is pretty good. It's all internal, so everything is, well, internal. The only thing that goes external is when you zoom out to 105mm, and even then, that's not even that much. I mean, that is, yeah. Because this is an L lens, it is weather sealed. Now, I would not suggest to put it in the bath, but it basically has an IP rating, not official IP rating, but that's the only way I can describe it. If you put this in the snow, in the rain and the sun and -10 or something like that, then yeah, this lens will work perfectly fine. And that's another good thing about it. And the main reason that I brought this lens is because it has that little switch just there. That is IS, image stabilization, which means you can hand hold the shots at a lower shutter speed. So if I want to do handheld video, then I can, which is really nice, because I would have liked to have been able to do handheld video with my 50, because this is a really nice lens to film video on. And I have been filming video on it, I've been filming some of this on it, but it's just, there's no stabilization, and I want to be able to handhold my camera when I'm filming sometimes. So the fact that this has IS is pretty damn good. Now, as I talked about the weather sealing earlier on, you can actually see at the back here of the lens that there is a rubber gasket, and that helps to keep the elements, like the rain, snow, sleet, whatever, out of the image sensor and off of the back of the lens. As for the rest of it, I don't really know, but yeah. Now, the USM motor, now we're going to the downsides of this lens, and it's only really one thing that I have a problem with, and that's the focusing motor. I spent 5, maybe 10 minutes trying to focus this lens for this exact video, because I did originally want to film the intro on my 5D and with this lens, but with me being sat here where I am, it just wouldn't do it, even though it has a nice close focus. So it is kind of well known for hunting, which is where the focus ring here, if you can see that, just kind of spins around as it's trying to lock onto a subject. It just wouldn't lock onto my face like my Lumix is right now. Now, I don't expect it to continuously track my face like the Lumix does. Well, at least it should do anyway. Is it tracking it? Is it keeping me in focus all the time if I move over here, over here? Anyway, that's not the point. So yeah. And the weight of it, as I mentioned earlier, this lens is heavy as shit. It's heavy as shit. This lens probably weighs the same as, hang on. Yeah, this lens weighs the same as my 5D Mark II. So that, to be fair, that probably does help with the image stabilization on the lens, which again is really nice to have. But this lens is heavy and it is big. I mean, if we look at the lens cap for the 50mm 1.8 and then put it beside the lens cap for the 24-105. Yeah, they're pretty, I mean, that is the size of my hand. Oh, that's the size of my palm. That's just, what? Why is it so... And it's the same for the front element. The element here is really, really, really big. But this lens is really, really nice. And I would strongly, strongly recommend you get it. You can pick these lenses up now for about £400. So if you can get a good one like I have, then definitely get it if you can afford it. Now, the 24-105 L lens, as I said, is expensive, and £400, even for me, is still a lot of money. And after doing some research, this at £400 is actually cheaper than the competitors in most cases. So as I said, if you can pick this up for £400 or under, then definitely get it. Now, the seller that I was buying it from wanted about 450, and I said to him, I messaged him and I was like, if I can pick this up today, will you take 400? And he said yes. So I went down there and I picked it all up, and I came back home and I started to use it, and I started to fall in love with it. This is a beautiful lens, and it will be in my bag for a very, very long time to come. Thanks for joining me in this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.